I'm Anita Bergman, and I was just interviewed by Keith Andrews. And he is a wonderful person who's really helping everyone. He's truly a blessing. So he's doing such a great job. Please keep in touch. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. It is episode 648. Today, I'm here with Anita Bergman. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for having me.
No, the honor is all mine. And for our viewers out there, make sure to like and subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network, available on YouTube.com, Keith Andrew Network, available on Facebook.com, and all social medias. Don't worry, our Instagram names will be on the bottom. And our Facebook, all of that information, so you can be in contact with me, be in contact with Anita. So all that's got to be there. But with that being said, it's our honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to our episode.
Thank you so much. So am I.
Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is who influenced you to get into the acting career, and in the acting world, for that matter, and how many years have you been acting?
Well, the story is, my dad used to run he used to be a manager over the vending companies for the drive-ins. So when I was age 4, up to about age 7, I went to the movies every single weekend, mostly the drive-in movies. And so I was quite little, but it was invested in me very strongly. So I would say that's where I got started with loving movies, especially scary movies, because that's what they played a lot at the drive-ins. And then I did a little bit of acting in high school, and then a little bit of acting out of high school. And around, I'd say 7 years ago, a movie came to Cincinnati called Carol, and they had a call through a casting call through the newspaper. So my girlfriend and I went, and I got dressed up in a 50s outfit, and I got to be background for that. And after that, it became so exciting because a lot of movies started coming to Cincinnati, and I got to become familiar with all the people locally who were doing independent films. And so then I got to start working in the smaller films that go out for competition. What they do with those is they send them out and compete and hope that someone might buy that film or might buy the story. So that's what our local people do, and it's just wonderful. And it gives you this great opportunity to have speaking parts and to learn how to act. As much as we also have some great acting schools nearby. So between all of those, it kept me very busy for all these 7 years. And I also recently got my first SAG-AFTRA film, and that is something that we all want. We're all looking to get the SAG-AFTRA where we'll be on the big screen and we'll get noticed. So I did get to do one in October last year called Dear Zoe, and I played the grandmother of Theo Rossi from Sons of Anarchy, and great-grandmother of Sadie Silky, who's a little redheaded girl from Netflix Stranger Things. So that's quite the exciting thing happening. And I don't know when that'll be coming out, but I don't know when anything's going to come out now anyways. So it's about 8 years almost. So.
Well, it's funny that you got the chance to work with two big upcoming stars. Well,
yes.
From Sons of Anarchy and from Stranger Things.
Yes, and they're, what's so wonderful is that they are just like us. So, we kind of put them on a pedestal. We watch them all our lives and we think we know them, but they're just like us, which is really great. So.
No, absolutely. Now, what were some of your biggest steps that you had to take to get into the entertainment world?
The biggest steps I took was that I got into every single thing I could to do background, to help out and to learn everything about the movies. And I did take a couple of classes, but really the actual activity of working in a movie helped me the most because I was never a shy person. And I think that the acting classes help a lot of people when they are a little insecure. And I never had that problem. I've always been like out there. So, and having done acting when I was younger. So the biggest steps was just definitely sending out for anything, taking any kind of character I could get. The most fun I've had has been working with the independent films and getting to do characters like I've killed people, I've stabbed them and shot them. I've been a zombie. I've been able to, let's see, what was something recently I did? I'm trying to think of some of the fun things, the crazy characters. I'm going to be a surgeon soon, so that's going to be fun. And those independent films create a whole different level of acting for you because generally it's hard to get those kind of character parts, especially for women, especially women my age, so I'm just having the best time. It's just really so much fun. And the camaraderie and the family that we have together, even though it's a large community, probably, 3,000-4,000 just in the Cincinnati area. And then you've got, I also go to Cleveland, I go to Chicago, I just worked out of Pittsburgh, and I work out of Louisville. And if I can get something in Indianapolis, sometimes I get commercials and things. So all of those people, even though it's a huge amount, we really network and get to know each other and support each other. It's probably the only career I've ever been in where people support you and say, hey, this part is for you, whereas you're not competing as much. There's some competition, but not like other kinds of careers. It's pretty cool. It's pretty wonderful. And you feel pretty much loved a lot of times, but it's also a career that you have to look every single day for something to do. You're getting a new job all the time. So there's no security. There's never, and people can at some point start feeling like, oh, I'm no good, but it's you just never know how they are going to cast you. You just don't know if it's how you look or if it's your acting, you just don't know. So you can't get too down about it, but it's a little bit hard sometimes.
Well, let me ask you about this. What about discrimination? Say, I want to get into the entertainment world, but I have a disability. But this is not about me, this is about you.
Right.
Because you're, like, just throwing out there, or you can be someone's grandmother, like you just said. Do you think age plays a role if someone... Let me just find a better way to dictate it. Do you think age dictates if people sort of work with you, or is it your acting career?
I think that in the community, the local community doing independent films, they do not discriminate. They are happy if they like your work. They will put you in whatever character. They will write characters for you. They will definitely include you into that. Now, as far as the Hollywood arena, I think that's a whole different level. And I think they are much more, they dictate much more on exactly what they think the people want and not so much, what's going to make them money. So I think they are much more discriminatory. I can say that we do have people locally that are little people, and we have some people that stutter, and they have all gotten parts in local movies and have been thriving very well. So I'm very proud of what our community does for that. So, and I'm 70 and I'm out there getting parts as a killer. So this is awesome.
Well,
so yeah.
Ever since that movie came out, about the killer grandma, that seems to be the new thing.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's no holds bars too much anymore. But I do feel the majority of movies definitely take more men. It's still an unequal amount because characters are more men. They have a lot more stories with probably 5-1, And then you have war movies and you have military movies. Well, it's the same thing. Sorry. You have police, and you have a lot of things that really are centered around men. So it is a lot harder for women to get roles than men. But as you say, a lot of things are changing now. I just watched last night, now I can't think of the name of the show, Good Girls. I love Good Girls. And they're so bad, And so it's so fun to watch things like that, where there's such unique characters and really different. So hopefully they'll keep doing that, but you never know.
No, I agree. Now, the next question is social media. Do you use any social media besides Facebook?
I'm on Facebook every day, and right now it's quiet, so there's not a lot of networking there. But we still, all the people that work together or know each other through the movies, we're constantly talking and staying friends. But I don't do any of the others just because I think Facebook takes up so much time as it is that I just don't have that much time to go and look at some of the other social media parts. So, but a lot of people use, I'm trying to think of some of the ones they use. I don't use Twitter. I don't use, I just do Facebook.
Well,
What's
personally, for me, I use the big four. And the big four is Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. But as of late, I've been using Facebook and Instagram more. Occasionally I use, so I guess I mean I have Twitter, but it's not as
right.
It's there. It's like I don't use. You have the ones you need, like you said. You have the four, so you have two you have, and they're two. They're kind of like, if I need to, I will. But Facebook, Instagram, and especially LinkedIn, I'm always on that. Twitter, not as much. Like I make a presence on any social media you mention. I have a presence on there. Does not mean that I'm constantly, using. I'm always on Instagram, Facebook, wherever there's more traffic and wherever I get the most attention. That's what I use. But what I want to ask you is everything that you accomplished in your life, everything that you got up to this point, do you think, or do you actually feel that maybe you could use a change? Maybe hypothetically, if you used Instagram, hypothetically, if you used Twitter or LinkedIn, do you think that will give you more opportunities than just Facebook? Because you can't limit yourself just to one thing.
Right. I do think Twitter would probably help me more because I would probably be able to speak to more people that are of larger presence, definitely more bigger actors. And I think that reaching out to them is definitely an easier way to do that. I just feel like it's so time consuming and trying to locate them, because when I've gone on there, I've said, okay, where do I start? How do I find these people? And I did find a few when I first went on Twitter. I still have an account with them, and I have an account with Instagram, but Instagram was more pictures to me. I thought that was something more, and I used to be a photographer, but I just not really going that way anymore. I've been able to always have, I've worked full-time in offices. I always did administrative and executive administrative jobs. I've had some amazing jobs, but I always did something on the side extra. And I used to be a photographer for 30 years, a professional, and I did weddings and portraiture and things like that. So I had a great time with that. But once I got done with it, I was kind of like, I don't want to do it anymore, So I do take some pictures locally, but I really don't do as much as I used to. Now the acting has taken over, and I'm really loving that a little bit more. But now I've gotten off track. But I think, Twitter, I think I probably would like to work with that a little bit more. I just need to learn it, and I just haven't made any time to really get to work with it that easily,
But it's funny you should mention that. Instagram, I always thought it was just pictures, but you can actually do short video clips.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was more like just showing pictures of things you liked.
Well, that's you can say the same thing about Twitter too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it, hey, you have to adapt with the times, and I guess they updated it, so now you can do like short video clips. There's something called
Wow.
Instagram TV, where you can do like a 10-minute video where you can introduce yourself. So I would actually recommend it for you.
Okay. I'll have to look into that. Definitely.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you, based around the show, have you ever worked with people with disabilities? And apparently, you're working with me. Let me see. Actually, I always have to throw that little dig in there at myself.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever worked with people with disabilities? Apparently, you're working with me, but realistically, have you worked with people with disabilities? And are you willing to work with people with all kinds of different disabilities?
Absolutely. Yes, I did do one. Actually, it's the one where I stabbed someone, and he was the character who was going to come and attack me. And so that was a really fun little movie we did. It was part of like five little stories that made one big movie. And so that was a lot of fun. And he had a disability. So, yeah, I've never had any problem with working with anybody with disabilities or have any type of issues. I was brought up very, very religious, but my parents were very loving, and they taught me to love everyone and to have tolerance and to understand. And and my sisters, we were just talking a little earlier. I have three younger sisters, and we're so close. We're so lucky to have each other. When I see other families that don't talk for years. So, yeah, I think I was brought up pretty well. We had some good parents that really, really taught us to love people. So,
No, for a perfect example, on my other side of the family, my grandparents used, and I say this to everyone, my grandparents were the Yankers. They kept everyone together. So
hmm
when my mom's parents were here, we always saw your nephews and your cousins. The same thing with my dad. When his parents were here, he saw the nephews and the cousins. But unfortunately, when they passed away, they just decided, either money played an issue in it, or they just
right,
decided that there's no reason to have anything to deal with this other side of the family. So the family drifted apart. So, yes, I do agree with you that family is very important, but at the same time, you can't fix stupid.
no,
You can numb it with a 2x4, but, if they want to drift apart and break the family up, you know what? They have to live with that for the rest of their lives.
right.
But
They do. They sure do. Yeah. But yeah, and it happens so often. A lot of my friends, they have either sisters and brothers, or they have their own children are not talking to them. Something's not good anymore. There's definitely something that is not working well with society, and a lot of ugly going on. So
no, I agree.
yeah.
The next question I was going to ask you is, how do you interact with your fans, right? Say you have a strong message. Do people, because you've been doing this for 7 years, this June will be 7 years for me. When
Uh-huh.
someone sees you, are they always warm? Are they responsive? When you try to start a conversation with a complete stranger, do they feel like, you're engaging, or are they kind of standoffish?
Everybody is wonderful. Excuse me, I have the best people. Um, Everybody on Facebook that I deal with. Now we have had, unfortunately, because of politics, there has become some division where I'm like, okay, I don't. If there starts arguing with people, and I'm very opinionated, so if I have someone that I don't know starts arguing with me, then I'm like, okay, we'll just let you go, because I don't really want to. I always say I try to keep my Facebook peaceful. I don't want, but for the most part, people are just beautiful. I just love them. And some of the people, or most of the people on my Facebook, maybe all of them, are so beautiful and so talented. Every time I added somebody in, I'm like, oh my gosh, look what they do. Look who this person is. I've just been so blown away with so many intelligent and creative and beautiful people out there. So yeah, and I try really hard not to get mean. Sometimes I get a little bit stern when I'm trying to get a point across, and but not too often. I really don't want to upset anybody, but it's trying times right now. It's really hard because there's so much anger out there, but for the most part, they're awesome. So.
No, absolutely. For me, my talk show caters to everyone. It caters like from 15 all the way up to people in their 70s. I talk to men, women, whites, blacks, Spanish, Asians. It doesn't matter. If you give me respect, I give you respect, and you're more than welcome to be on the show. But
Right.
I was looking at my numbers, and I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong that I'm not connecting to the younger audience? Now, I don't want to dumb the show down because then it'd be too stupid.
Right.
So, like, people like from high school up, their responses is, what is this garbage? You're a creep. You go blank yourself. Yeah,
Wow.
but you go to other people in their 30s and up, or at least, in college and up, they give you the same response, oh, you're doing a good thing. So it's where in between is a common sense of saying, hey, he has a message about people with disabilities, you should support that, and otherwise they're just being complete asses about it.
Yeah, I don't really have much to do with younger people. Even my adorable nieces, and I mostly have they're all a lot younger. I have a few that are within 16 to 18 year age, and there's not a lot in common anymore. Not right now. We loved them when they were little, and so they'll always love me, but don't have a lot to talk about. I think that especially the teens, they're in a whole different world, and I don't even try to reach out to them, really.
Well, let me ask you about this. My message that I just told you about, do you think it's a message that should be shared with every single person?
Absolutely, it should. It's just that I think that that's the hardest group to ever listen. I just think that teenagers they don't, all they care about is a few things, and I don't think they have compassion yet. A lot of them, there are some, I shouldn't say that, because there are definitely children that have been raised by their parents and through their religion to have respect and love for everybody. But there's so many of them that are just, they're just very selfish and not really ready to, they're not grown up yet. They can't, I don't know that their brains can really take it yet. I think that they're still at a level of, I want, me, But I don't want, I sound terrible. I really do. I don't mean to sound that way. I just think they're just.
No, I agree with you. And I've seen it too.
Yeah. They're just not ready yet. But they will. And they will. And that's the whole thing, is that you can tell them things now and they hear it. They just don't care. But in another 4 to 5 years, it's sunk in. It's there. And they have that. As you don't ever stop trying to explain to them. Don't let them go, just because it will come back. I mean, I see kids that were bullies when they were young turn out to be amazing people. So it's they're still going to change. It's just that one time period is just, woof, they're tough. We all know that.
No, hey, we've been there.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and with the remaining time, I'm going to pass the show over to you.
Hey, I'm Laura Menino.
Hi, I'm Deborah Jensen.
I'm Linda Collins.
Hi, I'm Marissa Joy Davis.
This is Michelle Wong.
I'm Nancy Rose.
My name is Brandy Hunt. And
hello, my name is Raven Wynn.
Hi there, my name is Giovanna Vidal.
Hi, I'm Monica Thomas.
Hi, I'm Paisley Blackburn.
I'm Ashley Burgess.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Abney.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spank.
Hey, this is Samantha Moore.
Hi, I'm Melody Jones.
Hi, my name is Becky Yee.
Hi, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. I'm here with Anita Bergman, and it's episode 648. That's right, 648. Make sure to go to youtube.com. type in Keith Angie Network. And yes, I do talk with my hands. Go to KeithAndrewNetWork.com. Go to my main page, KeithAndrewNetwork.com. Instagram, same exact name, Keith Angie Network, without the .com. And on Twitter, KeithAndrew88. But we were talking off the air. You mentioned something that was pretty interesting. And it's funny because I mentioned this to my father a while ago about people, age is just a number. You said you started your acting career at age 63. So
Right.
What I want to ask you, to pass in the show over to you, is at what point of your life, why did you wait so long, number one? And what was that very moment and said, you know what? I put up with enough crap in my life. Now it's time for me to do something that I really want to do. So what was that moment where you just said, you know what? I'm going to get up and do it?
Actually, I was on my last job. I had just started a retirement, but I was still working part-time when this opportunity came up to work as background for Carol. And I will say that Carol, of all the movies I had done, was the most amazing and most fulfilling, because it was up for Academy Awards. It had Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara, and an Academy Award winning director, and we just everything was so fascinating. And I knew then, I said, I want to do this. I want to keep doing this. I don't want to quit. And so the job I was at was phasing out. And so I did not, even at 60, I was about 62 and a half. I decided, no, I don't want to go back out and find another job. I want to keep doing this. The problem was that there's so little that comes to the area for big movies. So to actually have a livelihood of it would be hard. But I was already getting on Social Security. So I had enough money coming that allowed me to go out and start doing some fun local work. The thing about doing this kind of work was it's not like sitting in an office and all of a sudden somebody says, hey, you wrote this down wrong. And then you're guilt-ridden. There's a lot of pressure. You've got to have it done today. Well, it's a different kind of pressure acting. The fun part is that they will do a scene 4 to 5 times in different directions, and they will take the best scene and use it. So you have 5 chances to get that line down absolutely perfect. And that is so much better than you think. When you do a play, you get 1 chance.
Yeah.
You're up there, and if you screw up, that's not good. So doing movies is so much fun, and and the people in general are just so lovely to work with. So when I got influenced by that, when I came in and I thought, oh, everybody's so nice. Yeah, that, who would not want to do this? It's just so much fun. And the camaraderie with all the people you work with. So when I had done acting in high school, a little bit, not a lot. And then I did a little bit several years, maybe 10 years after high school, doing some things in local theaters, and not theaters, but churches and little groups. The main reason why I didn't do anything full-time permanently was I was so insecure with myself. I felt that I was so unattractive, and I had gone through a surgery for my jaw. I used to have a jaw that was too small, so I looked like I had an overbite. And I got made fun of all the time. And so I was so insecure. I thought, I don't want to be out in front of people. It's not that I was afraid of talking in front of people. I just thought, I'm not worthy. I'm just too unattractive. Then I also got started, we had a family, started taking in, working full time, and financially just now you're in it. There's no way that you can not be working full time and supporting your family anymore. So that went on for many, many years. Even after my son got a little older, we always had other people living with us, always helping them out. I had a few children that came and grew up with us, that came and lived with us and stayed with us for a number of years. So we always had lots of things going on. And then I was also doing the photography, and I did photography for 30 years as a part-time job. So that was very fulfilling. but in my heart, from when I was young, yeah, acting in movies, I wanted to be an actress. I always did. So, I'm pretty lucky that I'm getting the opportunity now after, that it's on my bucket list and I got to do it, that I'm pretty happy about that. So.
No, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
Okay.
But the last thing I do want to talk to you about real fast with the remaining time we have is how are you dealing with the whole coronavirus?
Well, we're doing okay because we're on Social Security, so we're not dependent on a job. So we have everything we need, and I have lots of entertainment in the house, DVDs and television and music, and so there's enough to keep us busy. And I have friends that I'm keeping in contact with. I've got Facebook, so I stay very busy, and it's not a whole lot different than when I'm not doing a movie. So, and movies really, I might do 9 to 10 a year, and you figure for each movie it might take 1 to 2 days to do it, maybe 3. So that's not very many days a year that you're actually working, So, but we're okay. We're just it's a little alarming, and I'm more worried about, like, my son and my mother-in-law live in Massachusetts, so I can't control anything. I'm kind of a control freak, so I can't control and make sure that they're okay, and I really hate this. And I worry about certain family and friends that are not very healthy already. And so there's definitely a fear going on. But it doesn't make me, I'm not panicking or anything. Just abiding by the rules. Trying to stay in the house and not go anywhere. So.
Oh, it could be worse. He can be in Russia where Putin has all those lines running around. Even though that is a pretty good idea.
Yeah. It's scary. So,
but with that being said, you have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction when you got the email? What made you say yes? And how do you feel now? Would you recommend it?
Oh, yeah. I actually, at first, I thought, no, I thought maybe this is wrong. Maybe you have the wrong person. I didn't think you were talking to me. And then you were so charming. And I said, yes, I would love to talk to you. So definitely your demeanor was definitely what made me want to go ahead and talk to you. I was very excited then. And I think this is a great way for, people to find out about who you are and who's out there. And we need to learn more about each other and know and get to know what we're about. That everybody has some secret identity, or they have something that they'd love to talk about. So this is a great venue for it. So.
No, I appreciate that. And now, like I said, you're not a fan of Instagram or Twitter. Maybe you would hop back on those. But people can follow you on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And now, my other question for you actually, I'll keep that for off the air. But okay. Wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. And I'm looking
Thank
forward
you so much.
I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.